that, we give up no dunks and layups, and obviously it's something that's going to happen through the course of the game, but for the most part we want to protect the rim, and we did a good job of that tonight.
Mark of a good team is beating teams that you're supposed to beat. You guys did a really good job of that this season. What do you attribute that to?
Just coming out and, taking care of business. We want to protect home court, and and make sure that, it's about us. It's never about the other team. That we come out and do what we're supposed to do, then we give ourselves a chance to win. So no matter who we're lining up against, we want to make sure it's about us and building good habits for the rest of the season.
AD, what was it like to see Kobe out there and have him watch you in a Lakers uniform tonight?
It was great. Obviously he's a legend here, and he's been someone that I've been able to watch for a long time, and got a chance to play with in the Olympics and learn a lot from. So, he's been a guy that has always been in my ear throughout my career, and to see him, come here and watch us play was great tonight.
Did he tell you something after the game?
No, he left before the game. It was over.
He was still there.
No, he left before the game was over. He walked out.
What do you think are the main things you learned from him?
Huh?
What do you think are the main things you've learned from him?
Just go out there and play. Obviously, a different playing here, but when I hit the turnaround jumper on the baseline, on the other side of our bench, I ran down and he yelled something at me, and I told him I took that from him. So, just going out, just playing basketball, just trying to be the best I can be.
It was a strong defensive night for you with 5 blocks, and the team offense looked great, but the second game in a row where you didn't get a ton of looks in the first half, and Frank told us pregame that it's kind of on him to make sure you get more involved. How do you think that's been going as of late?
Hey man, we're winning. I don't really care about any of that. We're gonna find ways to get the ball. I'm going to find ways to make sure I get a shot. But when it's in the flow, how we're playing the first half, we're running and getting a lot of fast break points and guys getting open shots. Finding guys. When I do get the ball, I just try to play the right way. And the result of that, we were able to get up, big in the first half. So I'm not worried about shots. I'm worried about wins.
AD, you guys obviously, when LeBron's off the floor, you can't replicate having LeBron. But what do you guys need to do better when you're out there without him?
Just keep pushing the ball. On misses, he likes to get the ball and keep the pace high. And we tend to slow down a little bit when he's off the floor. So we got to make sure that we just keep that pace high and just keep just keep running. He's obviously great to have on the floor. What he do have time where he come out, and we got to make sure that we keep the same level of intensity on both ends of the floor.
When you look at the great players like Kobe who have played for this organization, what does it mean to you to kind of be building your own chapter among sort of that storyline here?
It's great. I never thought I'd be playing here in such an iconic franchise, and I have the opportunity to do so. Opportunity to do something great here, and so obviously it's going to nothing compared to what Kobe has done here, but just try to write my own story and take it game by game, year by year, and just keep building.
Last 2 questions. Does it make you think more about that, about the legacy aspect of that when Kobe's here?
Nah, I don't really think about too much when I'm playing a game of basketball, but like I said, what he's been able to do for this franchise, and to see him sitting courtside just makes you think, can you do the same thing? So, but during the game, just try to go out there and play.
Did you know Danny had ups?
No, I didn't. He kind of surprised all of us. He said he missed one the last game, so he owed us one, and it shocked us all.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks.
Yeah.
The Lakers are back in action on Tuesday night when they play host to the Oklahoma City Thunder. This will be the first of a home and road back-to-back with OKC. Tip-off is set for 7:30. We'll be here to get you ready for game time with Lake Show at 6, followed by Access Sportsnet Lakers at 6:30. Much more ahead. Lakers dominate a Sunday showdown with the Hawks, 122-101 the final score. We'll have more post-game reaction for you after the break.
Access Sportsnet Lakers.
AD, you guys had 14 block shots as a team. That's the most for the Lakers since 2002. How do you feel about that?
Protecting the paint.
That's best In the NBA, they've won 11 of 12 since that opening night loss. They've won 4 in a row, so they've started a new streak. LeBron with 33, Kuz 17, AD 14. Let's head back to the Staples Center. Head coach Frank Vogel speaking with Mike Trudell in the media.
Frank, not to be redundant about the last couple games, but just the LeBron's continued performance at this level, and if you could just address it again and tonight specifically.
He's playing at just an extraordinarily high level and dominating. You know, his effort on the defensive end has really spread throughout the group. You know, and the group has really bought into being dominant on the defensive end of the floor. We saw that in the first quarter with how we just, controlled the game from the start. And, offensively, he's just, his shot making, his decision making, 0 turnovers, 12 assists. I mean, you're kidding me? We talked about it in the film session the other day that, his assist totals are up, but his ball security in the last few games is remarkably low. And that's special when you're having the usage that he has. So, he's playing as good as I've seen him.
Frank, in regards to that production, what do you think goes into him being able to do that in an efficient manner?
Well, it's just his mind. He's one of the best decision makers to ever play the game. He's got more firepower around him right now than he's probably had in years. With a guy like Anthony Davis out there, and the lob threats we have at the rim and the shooters we have around him. So I think the environment around him is better. And, obviously he's very motivated, from how things went for his first year with the Lakers. And, he's playing at a special level.
Frank, obviously, there's such a rich history with this franchise. Kobe Bryant was sitting courtside. Several players greeted him throughout the course of the game. The crowd acknowledged him several times. What does that do for the atmosphere, and what was it like for your team to have Kobe in the building?
Well, I got chills when the crowd started going nuts, at his presence, and he deserves it. One of the greatest Lakers of all time, and one of the greatest players of all time. We're very, very lucky to have him here in attendance, and definitely energized the crowd and our team.
I was just curious if you were as surprised as the rest of us by Danny Green's dunk at the end of the first half, and just what you think make of that play?
No, I think he got a little boost. I got to see it on tape. I don't know if that was all Danny, reaching the top of the backboard to throw that one down, but that was an electric play for sure.
Frank, when we talked before about LeBron's minutes and trying to give him a rest when he plays like he did tonight, and when he gives, I think he was plus 41 in his minutes at
halftime.
Does it just kind of fight every instinct you have not to kind of play him the full complement of minutes?
I have a good mindset for balance. Obviously you guys playing at a level of a plus 41 and a half. You can use him at your disposal, and he's going to be effective, and he's going to dominate the game the way he's dominating. But we're still going to have a big picture mindset, with everything that he's doing, and just have that mindset.
All right, you heard Frank Vogel right there talking about the mindset of this team and LeBron James. I know we've all touched on it as well, but the Lakers have taken advantage of Fish, and they're playing well defensively at home, and they're taking care of business.
They are, but this starts last year.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. The coaching staff is new. There are several new members of this team, but this started with, to me, LeBron's experiences last year. KCP, Rondo, Kuz, a number of guys, kind of a core nucleus of guys that felt frustrated, they felt disappointed, they felt like in some ways their season was hijacked, and they came back this year meaning business. Everybody trained hard in the offseason, came back in great shape. There is purpose and there is intent in what they are doing. This is not an accidental great start to the season. And they're building a foundation quickly here that will allow them to sustain some bumps and bruises throughout the season that naturally happen, right? But this great start, it allows you to have a couple nights where it doesn't go well for you in January or February because of the foundation they've established in November.
Yeah, last year this was a team, if healthy, I think they would have made the playoffs.
Yep, might have too.
Maybe it would have been 8th or 7th spot. So they know they were better. Even when they were healthy, I think they know they were better in some of the games they were losing. So that's a motivation in itself. LeBron, obviously, Kuz, was on the trading blocks. They decided to keep him. That was a big incentive for him to come back. And then you have guys like Dwight Howard coming in. All the missing pieces started to come into play. So they still have some work to do, but this start out of the blocks, it's a serious one, and they seem to be aware of how important it is to come out of the blocks and beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
And Allie Fish is right. It did start last year, and a big component of that is not making the playoffs. LeBron James, for 8 straight years, went to the finals. When he joined the Lakers last year, it was after his 8th consecutive trip to the finals. He had 5.5 months off.
Say that again?
5.5 months off.
How many trips to the finals?
8 straight. 8
Crazy.
straight. When he got to L.A. last year, 8 straight.
My goodness.
If we don't think 5.5 months off for LeBron James is a big part of this start,
Trust me, I was a part of 4
missing.
of those, didn't score a single point, and I was exhausted.
Right?
Not one single point, and I was exhausted.
Exactly.
It's a lot, but I think, too, also, just to take from a player's perspective one step further, because it's something that I've had to and wanted to pay attention to see if it would come to fruition, is you mentioned it's a new coaching staff. And there's a message that's been preached. I said it one other time, day one for Frank Vogel. It's been about togetherness and family and fun and doing it as a collective unit. And a lot of what we're seeing success-wise early on is guys doing it as a unit. And there's a lot of fun that's coming from that. So that doesn't go unnoticed. When that staff, the guys have to go out and actually play the game and execute it, but there's a game plan put in place every single night, and there's an approach and a mindset every single day that starts at the top.
so many motivated guys. I mean, Dwight's comeback story. AD's never been to the finals. I mean, there's so many guys that are hungry to get it right. All right, 14 points, 5 assists, 5 blocks from Anthony Davis. Let's go inside the Laker locker room. He's speaking with Mike Bresnahan.
AD, you guys had 14 block shots as a team. That's the most for the Lakers since 2002. How do you feel about that?